Good morning, all y'all. From way up here in the highlands of Colorado, the Rocky Mountains, chicken saying hello and all that jazz too. We got the other panel put up. Um, just we're not done or nothing like that, y'all. Is let's see if it makes it better. No, that does not. Huh. Well, I don't know. It seems like it's awful tight today. Or maybe I can get backwards and get back a little bit. We're still waiting on another panel like that for these other solar that are coming in. It'll go like right there ish, and then feed these other two, just like it has been. But it'll just be breakers and better than what we have. This had a breaker box like that when I started. Um, the breaker fried. We had one of them EMP solar gizmos or whatever, and fried it. Um, and that's why I was starting this with, buy good equipment. It don't matter who you buy it from. I don't care what country. Just buy the best they got when it comes to this jazz, and you'll be better off. Is what it comes down to. I got the big battery separated and all that. This is how I do that, y'all. I had that asked once how I can handle these big batteries. I can't. I can barely like lift one end of these big things. They're that heavy. Um, the but the but I mean, somebody with legs could do it. I'm just saying, not in a wheelchair. You can't. Is what it is, and you're kind of limited um, without some kind of a gantry to move up on the top. I just use that wooden cleat with four screws. It's all 3/4 inch OSB. It's not any weight for that kind of stuff, but for a cripple in a wheelchair, it's a lot of weight. Even if you had legs, it wouldn't be that bad. But I lift them up, move them around. But the only thing bad is you can only move them so far. Like you can see where this is out of plane this way. Well, that battery was probably over here because it came from up there, and that's all you can do is lift them up and move them because you're pulling on the rope at the same time that you're lifting them up or lowering them. It's not as it's like not perfect, but it's not sketchy either. So it's pretty okay. Um, we got the inverters running. It's the first day in like days that it's not cloudy. And yesterday it was like hardcore cloudy. I wasn't making a couple amps of power. Like it was dark black up here. Um, and it don't never get like that. Normally it just goes through and blows on. Uh, but like I said, we're getting some more panels in, and then we're getting one for the 120 to come out. And I was looking for one for the 220. I've not found one yet. But where it's all a combiner box kind of thing, breakers and the whole jazz, so it's easier to work with. Um, and just plug and play. They're just easier than trying to wire it up. Are they really? Are they like as robust as the advertisement? Probably not. So really shop around. There's a lot of stuff that's like that, y'all. The breakers that I got over here. Now, on the stuff that's worth every cent, this little jewel right there. I don't. I never really got to use it much because I didn't have the lithium and the good inverter or whatever like that. Because that would kill a normal, like a dumb inverter. Oh, couldn't stand a chance. Um, One, it's pretty high. It's like 2,000 watt. Don't quote me, but I think it's like that. High as an air fryer is what I'm trying to get at, wattage wise. And at the end of its cycle, when it's holding pressure, it's going up, down, on, off, all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's hard for an inverter to keep up with that kind of a demand. Mine does it flawlessly. Um, like I said before, I've had a lot of people say, don't buy these, blah, 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 blah. There's bad reviews for this one, too. And I look at it this way. If it doesn't work, yes, I got skimped out on the money. But like if you buy something at Walmart or any other American company that does not take your shit back, like Walmart refuses to, even if you stand in line. Or that's what I can't stand in line. I had a nephew that like he lived to stand in line for something, like that was his calling in life. That just like makes my brain want to melt. I can't even fathom that. So to like stand in line at Walmart, maybe they will, maybe they won't take it back. I don't know, but I can't stand in line for 6 hours. And that's just like almost every Walmart that I've ever known. It's not like ours is any worse than anybody else. But Walmart used to take your stuff back without even a question back when I was a kid. As long as you had the receipt, no problem. They didn't even want to look at it. They just said, yeah, there you go, and go do it again. Then they went with that store credit crap, and now they just, like, refuse to deal with you. And even when it's really their fault, I mean, it's just their policies are really for shit. I went as far as I can. It's obviously the chickens are crowing. It's getting daylight. This is not really, without these kind of boxes, you don't want to work with this, where you can completely disconnect stuff. And another deal that I'm working on right now is adding these breakers. I got them. I really didn't look at them. They're not as robust as I was hoping for. These are like 12 mil bolts on here. These are like 6 mil quarter. Or, you know, I mean, it's obviously not even close is what I'm trying to get at. If they were, what I'm going to try to do is I made some of these little tabs like that, and the big end will bolt on this, the little end will bolt on the other deal, and then I was going to just use some the RTV room temperature vulcanization RTV. It's silicone. Works pretty good for like Accompany. But just fill the back of it up with it and then stick it, wipe the face down with alcohol and just stick it to it. Use the little bracket as the pressure to hold it to it. But it would take the batteries out of service for like a day or two before it would harden. I want to charge the floor up before I disconnect anything and let it sit for a day or two. Can I live without it? Oh yeah, no problem. But like, can I? Well, I probably could. That's pretty high draw. That's about as big of a high draw as you can do. 120 is this thing. But man, is it worth every cent? Oh my God, I hate running the generator, so I'd rather not use anything electric than to run the generator. I just can't stand the sound that rattly thing makes. And they're not bad. They're Briggs & Stratton, top of the line commercial generators. They're good. It just hurts my head. I don't like the sound of a generator at all. A diesel one is fine, especially them older ones that go even slower RPM. I almost like hearing those. But like a gas one, no, I don't do that very well. In the second truck wreck, some things are just intolerable. Noises, like a barking dog, if it's on a certain note, that just, the little friggin' thing will not like change its pitch. Though if it goes like barks a little big side to side, I can handle that. But if it's just one steady get on your nerve pitch, I can't do that. Not a dog, not a cat, not children, not nobody. Hence why I live alone, and I'm not making no excuses, nor am I the other way. I don't care. No exceptions, no excuses, no whatever. There's just after the second truck wreck, certain things I can't do, and I've accepted that. And when you accept it, then you get less migraines, is what it comes down to. Before, there was a lot of stuff I just couldn't accept, and my head hurt constantly, 24/7, 365. And I just couldn't live like that. And then I just accepted a lot of stuff and then all that went away. So it works better. here's where I'm at today. Is I'm in the middle of all this because without breaking these apart and making to get rid of all that, make little short cables. I got to make more of these. 4 of these were for the breakers, and then I got 6 more to make for the ends of the cables. 2 more sets of these things here. It's a spade, so it can just slide up inside the. Oh yeah. Oh, I got to make a whole different thing. Finally put on the thing, so now you can't see. Put on these battery leads up in here. It's like a U-shaped receptacle with a bolt on it that locks the cable up into the machine. And that spade it works. And you just got to make them. I've never seen anything like that sold. So I guess you could tin the wire would be the other way to do it. Whether you just used a cup and heated the silver solder or whatever, and just dip the cables in, and then you can make it malleable, pound it out with the hammer. Do the same thing, but just on the end of the cable. But this is my way to do it. I don't know. But these were from an old inverter that had like big 3/8, 12 mil kind of bolts or whatever, and so I gotta either cut these off and remake them. That's what I gotta do, is because I can't use this breaker. I could use it if I went direct, but I can't use this breaker with that hole. The hole is bigger than the whole bolt. It's sad. That's what I'm saying. Anything that much amperage, you need more You need more contact in copper than what that little quarter bolt can do. In a automotive application where you're running amplifiers on 6-inch wire, that would be fine. That would work. Under this much amperage and drawing this much wattage, if you trip this 3-4 times under load, those contacts aren't silver. It's not like a silver alloy, and they'll pop. Every time that you do it, it's going to cause it to arc. And so this one here, I'm not holding my breath for a dozen times before it lays down and says, we can't do that no more. Like that other breaker. That trip breaker, even though it was off, it was quite on. That's what I'm trying to get at. But the new boxes that I'm getting, like these here, I don't know if you can see that. They'll look just like this on the inside, but with the breakers and everything for the DC. But it won't have like all the redundant over voltage and stuff. But I do believe it does have the lightning suppression, and it has a meter on the AC out one, but not. I'm getting one just like this, but a double for this right here, where it comes in. It'll the feeds that feed these 2 inverters. They're not like, it's just the old panels that I have out in front, and this is really old stuff. Y'all, I bought this, and when people say, well, does it really work? Does it really work? These panels were 10 years old 6 years ago. And now, I'm buying new panels, and they should be like rock the house kind of deal. And that's what the second one is all about. It only makes 220, but it handles a lot more input, like twice as much input as this one does. So it'll charge the batteries regardless, but it uses 220 through the daytime to heat the hot water for the floor. And right now we're down to 73 on the floor. But I've not heated the floor in 3 days, and I'm still in a t-shirt now. I did shut the front door, but it's like 42 or something like that, maybe 39, or it was gonna be cool. And it's been raining, so that makes a difference up here. But otherwise, it's perfect. I'm still I don't even wear a t-shirt in the house yet, so it's not cold. Like, you would almost be lighting a fire without if the floors weren't heated, the daytime is 60 and the nighttime is in the 40s. That, especially when it's wet, that gets kind of cold up here. But we're doing pretty good. Oh yeah, all that's done. It turned out real well underneath the valves and all that. The detail. I was a little bit sketchy. I was a little bit worried, but it turned out okay. Um, but don't know. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is the heating element here? Is I was double checking. Is now that we got the 220, is I'll be able to get a bigger element, um, and then make it work harder, quicker with the new panels. So it should work out. It isn't going to completely heat the house through the winter. Probably not with just 12 panels, but when the other 12 are in and the other inverters in or whatever, and there would be like, a, I want to get a tank that's like twice as big or three times as big, but it has two elements. In that way, I can run one element off of one inverter, one element off the other, 12 panels apiece, and just cook the floor. That's what all this is about. And they'll still charge the batteries, and that's for the induction range top. It'll be for this big monster here. Well, no, this is 120. It'll be for the induction range top. Anything 220, it'll run. Um, you just got to pick. It can't run it all at once. It's only like 9,000 watt. But it should run like a big. I don't want a big massive hot water tank. I want small, so it's not heating the tank. It's heating the floor. This is for wasting electricity, not wasting electricity as efficiently as you can. Is how you look at it. Because anything that you don't use, like electricity wise, whether it's in the air, you air compress, heat hot water, whatever, these things shunt. That's why they're all like solid aluminum on the inside. They got them big fans. They just make heat inside the unit, and they cut the electricity the best they can, and then shunt the rest, and then it's just not made. It's just wasted. Um, in the it just I don't know, y'all. I don't got answers for everything, but and I'm kind of got tripped up in what I was saying. But they just, if you don't make it into something like hot water or whatever, I mean, air compressed air or something, then you basically squander it. It just doesn't get made. But otherwise, it works really better than I could ever dream for. And my biggest use for all the solar, when I started, I was doing lead acid, little golf cart batteries, and wow, was that a chore. But it was what charged my electric chair, so I could get firewood in the house, so I could do anything. And without it, I didn't have that option. And you can't really carry anything in a manual wheelchair. Um, like for real, like firewood or anything like that, or like groceries or containers. I mean, some people have adapted like really good, better than I'd have, is what I'm trying to get at. I can't do that. Um, and I wear a keychain thing around my neck where I can put the bags up and tie them up and slip it over my head. All that jazz. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, something where you got to hold on to it, like firewood, for one. That's not doable in a manual chair. So you just do what you got to do. Was it easy what I did here? No, it wasn't. I'll be honest. Um, do I know anybody that had the metal to do this kind of stuff? No, no, I don't. And I'm not saying that I'm above and beyond. I just took everything one day at a time. That's the one thing about the truck wreck. I wake up, that second truck wreck, I wake up in a new world basically every day. Yeah, I will remember some stuff. Sometimes if it don't make that scar or whatever they call it, no, I just completely, utterly forget like it never happened. But like a long-term thing, or especially if it makes that little memory scar, then I remember just like anybody else does. It's just a nuisance and a hassle, basically, more than anything. Um, but that's another reason why I don't do business. It's just something I'm not into no more. I'm just not into it, But it's okay. I do the best I can, And for people that can take me the way I am, hey, great. And if you can't, well, fuck you too, because I cannot change. There's no way around that. Just there, it's not. It's a done deal. And do I go out of my way to make aggravation, or put up with aggravation or the drama? No, that causes migraines. I don't deal with none of that. If you can't play like a human being, I can't deal with you at all. Just period. Can't do it. Don't want to do it. Sorry, I just can't do that no more. I tried. To the point it was literally like killing me. I did try to play that in the little bit. I just can't. And life is so much better when you just say, okay, there's some things you just can't frickin' do and step on and move on, and it gets better, y'all. It just gets better. So if you have stress or things in your life, you might just want to step on. That's one option that you need to consider. But it's not the option that I took for years. It's just the option that in the end worked out the best. So forced upon, but it worked out the best. All right, y'all. This is where I'm at. Like I said, the daylight saved me from going any farther. And I didn't want to tear it apart because I was wanting to heat the floors today and tomorrow. And then it'll give me time to make some more of the end things for the cables and make up, put the shrink wrap and make the cables up to combine everything back up. When it's all done, it shouldn't look all this bad. And when the combiner box is in there, it should actually look pretty good. So the AC side is what I'm trying to get at. But that's my disconnect. I mean, if anything fails, I can unplug it, unsnap it. If I have to, I guess cut a cable. But other than that, that's it's as best as I can do. The boxes up here have breakers on the side, but the new system has a big box like that outside where it can trip and do all the lightning suppression out there, and then another one in here. But they were the ones that I would order and then have to reorder and da-da-da-da-da. Had a real hassle getting them. And I just gave up. I should have kept looking, but I gave up on these other ones that I wanted, just because they were a hassle to get. And the ones for what I'm talking about for the battery disconnect are much bigger. They're like this one, I think, is 63 amp. The one outside is 15 and 32 amp wise boxes. And the ones for these batteries are like 200 for the one, 200 amp for this one, and 150 amp for this one. So they're bigger, and they're just, at the time, they were just almost impossible to find. Now they're back. So if you need them, get them. I can't stress, you really need disconnects in your system. That's a lot of voltage, a lot of amperage. Don't mess around. And DC ain't nothing to mess around with. Once you go over like 50 volt DC, it does not, if it bites you, it'll make you grab on because it just is one steady pulse that's going to keep pulling you, where AC alternates, it goes back and forth. So if it bites you, then it kicks you away. That's that discharge, the plasma discharge. DC doesn't have that, y'all. Be careful. Anything over 60 volt. Inside the house, the battery voltage is fine. It won't mess with you too much. That incoming voltage, where it's 300, 450 volt, you need this, is what I'm trying to get at. Don't fool around. You really need it. All right. We're enough of this PSA service talk, FYI crap. Y'all have a good day, and I really do hope y'all have a great day. Okay? Better tomorrow, too, if I don't talk to you. This is where we're at. Oh, I can't stress this thing enough. And for people that like fried food, I just don't like the taste of it. Certain things I like fried. Like if you go to the Chinese place, there's a lot of stuff they make fried I like. But other than that, fried food I don't really care for. But they got the same model, and it has a big bonnet, two different lids, one for pressure cook, one for air fry. And this, as just a pressure cooker, I can't stress it enough. This is so cool. It's for like $59. Man, I love it. I'd buy two. Um, okay, that's where we're at. Okay, we'll talk to you then. All right, bye.